Welcome to Thriving Entrepreneur with your host, Steve Kidd, third-generation minister and 30-year business coach. Listen in as amazing, world-changing authors, speakers, and coaches share their struggles and victories. And hear from best-selling authors' insight into how you too can live your life as a thriving entrepreneur.
This is Steve. Welcome to Thriving Entrepreneur. I'm so grateful to have you here with us today as we talk about the power of innovation. What are the kind of things that you could change just slightly in your life that could make such an amazing, incredible impact on all the things that you do? How could you go from the place that you are to some place new and incredible that maybe you can't even contemplate? Oh boy, have I got some great guests for you today that have done just that in their own life. And they're going to share with you some innovations that they've done and some ways that they're making a difference in the world, but also making a difference in their own life by having first taken the information, then innovated it a little bit, and made themselves even better. What an amazingly incredible way to be able to live your life as a thriving entrepreneur. Don't you want to know all about that? Today we're going to talk about the power of innovation. And why? Why? Because I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. I appreciate you so much. I really just can't even begin to say enough how grateful I am for the time that you take out of your schedule to be able to spend some time with me here live as we share with you the guests and we talk about living our life as thriving entrepreneurs. People sometimes ask me, what do you mean by thriving entrepreneur? And I say, all of us are thriving entrepreneurs. Some of us, we own companies. Others of us, we are the manager of or the CEO of our lives. But all of us are living in the world and getting things done and making that difference that we were intended to make, so that we can then innovate, come up with sometimes new, sometimes just new to us, strategies and things that we can implement that allow us to really make a difference in our own lives, but more importantly, in the lives of the people that we care about and that are in our lives. Imagine making your children's life or your spouse's life better. How good would that feel? How cool is it when you have the opportunity to be able to innovate yourself even and make the difference in your world? To be able to say to somebody, hey, I've got this really cool new idea and I want to share it with you. Or to do my new favorite phrase, simply ask somebody, how can I help you today? We really love it when a person just simply can innovate. They can have this amazingly great idea and then do something with it and change their little corner of the world, even their own world. One of the most powerful innovations that you're ever going to make is when you innovate yourself so that you're an even better version of you. I just love that. I hope and I pray that you are thinking of new things, that you're getting dreams and visions and having new goals of new and cool and better ways that you can innovate, that you can be strong and powerful in all that you do, that you can change your little corner of the world by using the power of innovation. I have 3 amazing guests with me here today. Each of them is doing some really cool things in the world that have made a difference in the lives of themselves, but also their families, and are doing some pretty cool things in the world for the people that come in contact with them. And that, to me, more than anything else, is the power of innovation and how we live as a thriving entrepreneur. So excited to have you here with us. We are going to jump right into our first set of guests here on Thriving Entrepreneur. Join me in welcoming Nathan and Daniel. Hey guys, how you doing today?
Good
Good,
day.
good,
How's it
good.
going?
Good to see you, Steve.
Oh, so good to have you guys here. You guys are the wealth warriors, and we want to jump totally into that. But first, give us a little background on each of you.
Go
Hey,
ahead, Dan.
you go first. Yeah.
Well, for me, I am your old blue collar dad. I did blue collar work for 25 years. I did construction, drywall, and recently I was your off-highway log truck driver, right? And back in 2020, my daughter ended up coming to me and saying, "Daddy, why do you work so much?" And to me, that broke my heart, and I needed to find a change. So what I did was I hopped online, seeing a bunch of people making some crazy money doing digital affiliate marketing. And I took the leap after doing a bunch of research and stuff. I took the leap, and in 4.5 months, I quit that trucking career. And me and Daniel have been business partners ever since. We've helped thousands of students online start their online business. We've helped other businesses get online as well. Just your original blue collar dad. My first 4 months online, I was actually toothless because of my past addiction that I had, right? 16 years clean last month. But yeah, other than that, man, I started doing digital affiliate marketing, and it literally changed my life, Daniel's life, right? I just actually walked my kids to school for their first day of school today. So that alone to me is absolutely priceless, just being there for my kids, right? So like this industry has literally changed my life, my kids' life, our family completely, right? So that's just the short story of it, real quick, right? We'll jump into more after. Daniel.
Yeah, so my name is Daniel Cho, and I'm just a typical like a immigrant, ordinary dad, right? And I used to work for a blue collar job as well, and but despite hard working, right? The hard working, doing day in and day out. About 4 years ago, my life was actually I was at the lowest point of my life. Okay, I owe a lot of money. That was when my first son was born. I owe $35,000 with credit card company. Then I got sued by the credit card company, and also I had to put my family on food stamps. So out of my desperation, I got to find a way how to bring in additional income to support my family. Then that's how I encounter affiliate marketing, digital marketing, right? And I started in early 2021 and as a complete beginner. And that's how I met my business partner, Nathan, online. That's how we got started.
I absolutely love that. So tell us, what is Wealth Warriors? What exactly do you guys do?
Hey.
So Wealth Warriors, we created in the end of 2022, right? After we had already, me and Daniel, we made 7 figures online promoting other companies' products online, right? A lot of people were coming to us wanting us to teach them, right? Wanting us to help them get started online, to become successful marketers online. Because me and Daniel, we've done it. People were coming to us wanting the experience, wanting our knowledge. So what we did was create a hands-on coaching program, right? Which Wealth Warriors, we created Wealth Warriors, and it's more based around community, right? Support and guidance, right? A lot of these courses online in the make money online niche and stuff, they're courses. You do them yourself at your own pace, right? You don't really have much support or guidance in anything when you run into some struggles and stuff like that. And me and Daniel actually had the same struggles when we first started in an online space. So that's why we created Wealth Warriors, which was a hands-on coaching program that teaches people how to do affiliate and digital marketing the right way so they can be successful for long-term growth, right? So our program is based around pretty much support and guidance to get people to where they want, right? They can come into our coaching calls, raise their hand, ask questions. We give them detailed answers on how to move forward to the next step.
Absolutely love that. Anything you want to add to that, Daniel?
That's pretty much it. And because we started from like complete scratch, right? So we know the struggles that beginners, when they first jump into this space, right? Trying to use social media, internet to number one, make money. Number two, we also have some business owner students. They want to use social media to bring more leads and sales for their business. So we know the struggles, the challenges that they have to go through. And that's why we created our brand and to coach them, right? Yeah, on live coaching calls to show them exactly how we would do it on live coaching calls.
That's amazing. So, talk to us a little bit. I mean, obviously, they need to join one of the courses in order to learn everything, but give us some insight into some of the kind of things that a person can learn being part of your community.
Go ahead, Daniel.
So inside our program, right? I mean, we are very good at taking like ordinary people who had zero experience online and help them find their first initial success. Okay, just last year, we created over 64 beginner students. They hit their first $10,000 online, and we have helped multiple people starting from zero to hit multiple six figures. And right now, inside our own program, we also have seven-figure marketers in addition to me and Nate. Okay, so what we are good at is to teach people how to create proper content, tell their story. Okay, so people can feel relatable to their brand story. Then we teach them how to use social media to bring in leads and sales for their business. That's pretty much what we do inside our coaching program.
I totally love that. A lot of people when they're starting, they have similar situations like what you guys are in. And the thing they struggle with is, I don't really have a lot of or any money. How expensive is it really to get started and begin to really start making money so that you can then afford to make more money?
I'll let Nate answer that. Yeah.
Well, there's many ways to get started in this industry. I'm going to be straight up with people. You can learn everything you want on YouTube if you want, or using Google, right? The problem with that is you're doing it yourself, right? You're trying to piece all that stuff together, and do it yourself is going to be so much time consuming, and it's going to be frustrating, right? So, like for me, I was $50,000 in debt. Daniel was $35,000 in debt when we started. I bought a program. I bought a program back in 2021, right? I didn't have the money to invest. What I did personally, right? I sold some of my gaming systems. I hadn't played them in almost a year, right? I sold my Xbox, sold my PlayStation, right? And I went out and shoveled a few driveways so I could afford a $14.97 course, right? I had to do what I needed to do in order to get ahead because I was only getting further and further into debt. So I seen the possibilities online. So I did what I had to do to get started in this business because I seen the possibilities. I literally only started this industry just to pay a few bills. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd quit my job, earn seven figures online, right? Help thousands of people, right? In the online space, right? Never did I think that in my wildest dreams. Now with our new pop program, which is a master resale rights, that's literally $1,000 to get our hands on coaching for an entire year, and all of our support, our resources. Me and Daniel ourselves, we spent over $100,000 in 2023 on a bunch of courses and mentors like Dan Henry, Richard Yu, right? And we invested in our own knowledge so we could help our students with their own business, right? So we invested that money so our students don't have to invest that type of money. We laid it all out inside of our brand new program. And now our students are, and they not only that, but they also can if they recommend us, say they run into somebody who wants to get started online and they want to recommend our program and our coaching, they can recommend it and keep 100% of the profits. Me and Daniel don't keep nothing. Now we're doing this simply because we want to make more of an impact in the online space.
I absolutely love that. I love that whole let's just give it away mentality. Zig Ziglar once said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll never want for anything. And I really do truly believe that's true. So give us an idea. I mean, you mentioned some of the people, but what kind of success are you guys personally experiencing now? Now that you're more teaching and not doing it, are you still doing it as well as teaching it?
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. Like with our students, we're right alongside them teaching exactly what we're doing currently to make our own sales, right? We have a TikTok masterclass coming up next week, right? On Saturday with our students because I've been learning TikTok ads, right, myself, and we've been getting incredible results. So we're going to teach our students how to do that, right? So they can also level up their skills, right? So it's just a matter of us just we help our students. If our students are successful, then we're successful. If they fail, we fail, right? We're failure coaches, right? So what we do is we push our students, like we push them. You guys got to put in the work, right? You got to be consistent every day, right? Actually be there and learn the skills rather than chasing the money, right? So a lot of it has to do with we want our students to win more than us, really, right? Because if our students are winning, we're winning, right? And it's just the way the industry goes, right? If you can have successful clients, more clients are going to come in and join, period, right? And it's the same with any business, right? Any business you have out there, right? People want success, they want results. That's what people want. And what me and Daniel realized is a lot of these courses online, they don't have the support that people deserve so they can find that success they need.
Yeah, here's what I see. Okay, the reason why our success rate is high, like we created over 64 brand new people started from zero to hit their first $10,000 online in about 1 year of the time span. The reason why they can do that is not because they have like special talent. This is what we found. Okay, in the space, a lot of people they want to make money online. They usually start from buying some courses, right? Including me and Nate, we bought so many courses when we were beginners. But we found this is the biggest problem is that information alone won't get you results. Okay, a lot of good information out there, like Nate mentioned. You can also watch YouTube, right? It's free information. Okay, so it's not hard for anybody to access information, but there is no that everybody is different. You have your own strength, you have your own weakness, right? And in business, there are so many variables. If one way doesn't work for you, particularly, do you know how to pivot, when to pivot, right? And you cannot have that direct feedback by trying to do this by yourself behind closed doors. That's why we emphasize the life coaching, because life coaching sessions do give me, Nate, and also our coaches that opportunity to see exactly what you are doing right now and give you that immediate feedback to tell you, okay, you should adjust this, right? This problem, you should pivot that way. You can only get that when you work with the proper coaches.
Yeah, so like marketing is marketing. It doesn't matter what you're marketing itself. If you know the marketing skills and know how to sell, right? Marketing and selling and sales are two seven-figure income streams themselves. Me and Daniel, we actually made $3.4 million online strictly by doing organic traffic, right? By doing free organic traffic on social media platforms. Now we just started doing TikTok ads 4 months ago. So we're just starting doing ads to scale our business even more, right? But with that being said, like me and Daniel, we've been able to not only quit our jobs, right? Stay home with our families, right? But we've also traveled the world. Me and Daniel, we just got back from Taiwan, right? So I just got back about 3 weeks ago from Taiwan, and Daniel just got back about 2 weeks ago from Taiwan, right? And we met that was the first time me and him actually met in person after 3 years in business, right?
Yeah.
So it was actually quite an experience. I got to visit Taiwan. I loved it, right? Gorgeous country, guys. If you ever get a chance, go visit it. But yeah, like me and Daniel, we've been business partners for over 3 years now. And it's very hard to find somebody like Daniel or even a business partner that you can fully trust like we do, right? So like that's the thing. Like a lot of people who come to me and Daniel know that we're not going anywhere. We've been here for 3 years now. We're going to be here 5 years from now, right? People know that when they come to us, they're going to get the support that they need.
Absolutely love that. So tell people, how can they get to work with you? What do they need to do? Where do they need to go?
Go ahead, Daniel.
So yeah, if you want to, I mean, we do have our free training. Okay, I mean, you can find us. Just search on social media Daniel Cho, CHOU, or Nathan Barker's, right? And you can find our profile. Just reach out. And if you want to go through our free training, and you can go to bit.ly/POP free training. Okay, and we have a comprehensive free training to show you exactly how you can make money online. Yep.
Give us that URL again.
It's bit.ly/POP free training. bit.ly/POP free training.
I absolutely love it. Well, before I let you go, give us just a few words of encouragement for the person who is in that place that you guys were not that long ago, where it feels hopeless, that there is a possibility of it being different.
Yeah, guys, straight up just believe in yourselves, right? First off, you need to literally get your mindset right. One of the big things that got my mindset right was reading this book right here, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Literally changed my life and my mindset, right? First, you got to get your mindset right and prepared, because starting an online business, it's starting a business, right? But it's so worth it, right? Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be sitting here home, right, by myself, right? Instead, like, I thought I was destined to sit in behind a wheel of a truck for my entire life. Well, there's more opportunities online than people really believe, right? The amount of money that's in the online space alone is insane. The e-learning industry is supposed to be predicted to be a $30 trillion industry by 2030. So this industry is absolutely blowing up. And with the world and the economy it is today, having one source of income is super scary these days, because you lose that one source of income, you could be homeless, right? I had no other option, guys. If you don't do something today, right? Do something today, things are only going to get worse, right? If you really want to change your life, you got to be willing to be the change in your life.
Boom. So I want to, if you are thinking about to start, right? And I want you guys to look at Nate and myself as an example, okay? Because we are not special. And Nate was a truck driver, okay, with zero technical background. And myself, I cannot even speak perfect English as an immigrant. And I was on food stamps, right? And also got sued by the credit card company. So just want to let you know, okay, you got to treat this as building a business, okay? Sometimes it's not easy, but the most important thing is your determination and desire. If you really want it, I mean, you can have it.
Yeah, you got to find that hunger within you, that hunger for success.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Thanks so much for being here with us on the show today, guys.
Thank you for having
Thank
us,
you.
man. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just love what these guys are doing in the world. Here's two guys running into some personal issues, financial issues, wanted to spend more time with family. And what do? They begin to research and study. And then, and I know sometimes this is a scary thought, but they go to work. They put all of their energy and effort together. They form a partnership even though they've never met each other, and both of them complement each other in the things they do. And then they make just a ton of money helping the world out, bringing money into their family. And then they're like, we want to give back even more. And so then what do? They go out and they begin teaching it. Not at high ticket, huge dollar value, but just simply making it so that people can learn from what they know and what they do all the time. And they too can get out of the potentially even dire straits that they're in, and make the difference that they too can make in this world. What an amazing story. What an incredible way to use the power of innovation to absolutely change your life, your family's lives, and the lives of so many people around you, and to live as a thriving entrepreneur. Let's take a commercial break and then we'll be right back here on Thriving Entrepreneur. Don't go away. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third-generation minister, an international best-selling author of multiple books, and I help people write, publish, and market their books to bestseller. In fact, there are literally thousands of people that have used the system that I created to be able to write, publish, and market their books, and now they're best-selling authors. And you're next. I just wanted to come on for a minute, say hi to you, tell you a little bit about me, introduce myself, and tell you I know the world is waiting on your message, and I would be so honored to be part of sharing your message with the world. Go to AskSteveKid.com and schedule a time to talk today. This is Steve. Welcome back. Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today. We're talking about the power of innovation. In our first segment, we talked to two incredible gentlemen who innovated their own lives, who took some things, learned them, really became experts at them, and then changed the whole course of their own lives, their families' lives, and then didn't stop there. But then they went on to make a difference in this world, to help improve the lives of so many people. What a powerful way to use innovation. And now, here in our next segment, we want to move on and look at some other ways that a person can innovate in their own life, but also ways that you could create a new and inventive way of doing business that hasn't been done before, that possibly can make a really powerful impact in the business and in the industry that you're in, and of course live as a thriving entrepreneur. Let's join our next guest. Join me in welcoming Rich Moyer. Hey, Rich, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing really good, thanks. So first off, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Yeah, I started my career in the golf industry, was a PGA professional turned serial entrepreneur. And I started my first company at the age of 25 in the construction industry, sold that for multi-millions in my second month of my fourth year. And since then, the last 10 years, I've worked for myself in owning multiple companies. I own a homemade ice cream shop. It's turned into 6 homemade ice cream shops here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the surrounding areas. We're opening 3 more locations. A media company called Explore CLT here in Charlotte, and then I'm also a franchisor of Hoppin', which is a high-tech self-serve bar, and we're franchising across the country right now with 5 more locations opening this year.
Tell us more about your franchise and about the company.
Yeah, Hoppin', again, is a high-tech self-serve tap room. So when you check in, our team will greet you, show you the system. They'll check legal age, make sure you're a legal age, and provide a credit card or debit card. We'll swipe that card, open up a tab. We'll give you an RFID wristband. That wristband gives you access to 60 plus taps in the tap room. That tap room has taps, all throughout the tap room, depending on the location. It could be beer, wine, ciders, and cocktails on tap, depending on the city or the state legalities of having cocktails on tap. And we have full cocktail bars. So once you have your wristband, you can scan that wristband on any one of our taps and pour a tenth of an ounce all the way to a full glass. And that's on the consumer side. It's more of an experience. It's different than any other bar or restaurant, and the experience itself and the service level is completely different. On the franchise side, we provide an opportunity for somebody looking to open up their own bar, their own business, or expand on their portfolio by adding a new business to their portfolio. And we have a great opportunity with Hoppin'.
Oh, I love that. So with it all being self-serve, is there any kind of restrictions on how much they can consume, or do you just kind of let people self-regulate, or how does that go?
Yeah, it's always one of the top questions we get. By law, if you were to go up to a bartender in North Carolina, you're only allowed to have 2 drinks at one time. So if you went up to a bartender and asked for 4 vodka sodas, they would only legally allowed to give you 2. So it's no different. On your wristband, you have a 2 drink limit. Once you exceed that limit, you find one of our staff members at the wall, at our tap wall. They'll make sure that you're not intoxicated and you can still have a couple more drinks, and they'll scan a card. You'll scan your wristband, and within 2 seconds you have another 2 drinks. So the process is very quick. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to wait behind a busy bar of 20 people to get a drink. And it's more of a one-on-one experience and service compared to trying to flag down a bartender to get a drink.
Perfect. I love it. So, and you said you have how many of them open now?
We have 3 currently open, 3 hopping, and they're in North Carolina, South Carolina. And we have 5 opening this year, projected to open this year, depending on construction.
So I'm curious to hear, how did you transition? You're a professional golfer. How did you go from that to now being in the franchising, and the wine distribution field?
Yeah, being in the golf industry and seeing all my members that were playing golf during the week or playing on the weekends when I was working or during the holidays, I quickly realized I was on the wrong side of the counter. So I started to just grow relationships with them and ask them what they did for a living. And they were either entrepreneurs, worked for themselves, or they were in sales. So finally, one member gave me the opportunity to get into the sales world. I was in that for a couple of years, and then realized that if I can sell, I can do anything. And that's when I started my first company, and I was just a broker of services, and learned pretty much everything I can learn with that first company, and grew it very rapidly, which then gave me the one, freedom, because I had a lot of money after selling it, and then 2, the ability to take risk and not feel like I didn't know what I was doing. So the golf industry gave me a lot of good relationships and opened up my eyes to a little bit different world, working for yourself.
Perfect. I love that. So if you could go back, going back to when you first started your own business, what have you learned now that you wish you could have told yourself there on that first day?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, if I could go back, is just really understanding the time and energy that it takes to go into it. I think a lot of people have an idea and they don't ever take the action to go do it, and that was never my issue. I think the the thing that I ran into with my first company is I just overworked. I worked 18, 19-hour days and 6, 7 days a week. And I got to a point where I was not enjoying life. But sometimes that's what it takes. So if I could go back, I probably wouldn't change anything. But if there was one thing that I could look at, I would just do that business a little bit differently. I would have streamlined it a little differently. I would have hired a little quicker, and I would have structured things a little bit differently to take a little stress off of my plate.
I absolutely love that. So let's talk about going forward. I mean, you talked about the other businesses you're opening up. Are you going to stay in this industry, or do you have ideas for other types of businesses you want to start too? Or what are you thinking, is going to be next for you?
Yeah, I've always invested in real estate, commercial real estate more recently, and I invest in couple tech companies. So once I get hopping to the point where we have 50, 60 locations open and others in the pipeline to open, I'm sure I'll have a private equity come give me an offer that I can't refuse. So that and that one of the tech companies will probably sell around the same time. So bigger picture for me later on is being more of an investor, mentor, and kind of my own private equity. Investing in people and ideas that I like and people that I believe in, and just being in the community, trying to educate and help individuals that want to be their own boss or start their own business and be a mentor across the board. I feel like I was put on this earth to be able to help people around me and other people in the US and across the country to be better in anything that they want to be better in. And sometimes all we need is the right guidance or the right cheerleader.
Oh, I totally love that. So let's talk about, somebody who's thinking about, hey, that sounds like a fun franchise. What are the kind of things that a person needs to have and know before they would be eligible to be one of your franchisees?
Yeah, for franchising, one of the biggest thing I think, some franchise candidates think that, okay, I have the money, I love the idea, and for us, it's more of a culture fit. Obviously, you got to have the money, and we want you to be all in on the brand and our team and our me as a founder, but it has to be a great culture fit. So the pre-initiation call is more of us interviewing each other instead of them interviewing us, and really understanding, will they be a good fit? And financially, it costs about 1.1 to 1.9 million to open, depending on the location. So financially is obviously one of the biggest things, one of the biggest hurdles we run into. And then outside of that, it's the initial conversations are more of culture, vibe, making sure you're a good fit for the brand. If you're a good fit for the brand, we move to the next step, which is typically visiting us in Charlotte at our HQ. We'll have a full day or 2 days of getting to understand each other, getting to know each other, answering all your questions, meet the team, more of our discovery day. And then we'll move forward. As long as both parties want to move forward, we'll move forward in the next process of all the legalities of the franchise disclosure agreement, and making that next step to sign on a franchisee. And then from there on, let's get the ball rolling.
And are most of your people building new buildings to put the thing in, or are most of them renting or buying space to put one of your locations in?
Yeah, the locations we look for are going to be mostly the hottest areas and where bars and restaurants are, and that's where our focus is. So I'd say 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to be leasing, because that property is usually high dollar property and it's already bought up by bigger investors. If you can find something that is for sale in that area, kudos to you. It's always nice to own your real estate and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you said, I apologize for asking again, but how big does the city or county or whatever you need to you live in need to be in order for it to really be a good fit for what you're doing?
Yeah, we require 250,000 population, and then we'll have to pull demographics in that population just to make sure it's the right fit. But 250 minimum, and we are honestly focusing on the bigger cities in the country right now, the fastest growing cities and their surrounding cities.
Perfect. I love it. So give the people that maybe aren't quite ready to be one of your franchisees yet, give them some ideas of what they can do to go from where they are to being in a place where they could get into a franchise where, you need the 1.1 to 1.9 million to be able to do it.
Yeah, I think, if the opportunity is right, hopping is the right opportunity. I think just having the right conversation with myself or my team, and we can chat through different options. There's always ways to bring in partners or silent investors. Financially, you don't need that money cash, so you can go to the SBA loan. There's definitely ways to buy companies or buy into a franchise without having that liquid cash. On the flip side, there's so many opportunities if they want to dive into a smaller franchise or a smaller business, or buy a business that's a little bit less of a upfront cost, get the cash flowing, and then start to build their portfolio. There's franchises that are very minimal to start, out of pocket costs, and just has to be the right fit for them.
I love that. So for the folks that feel like maybe they want to have the next level conversation with you, what is the best way to contact you?
Yeah, directly, you can email me at rich@hoppinbrands.com. You can also just look up Rich Hoppin Brands, and you'll find me on LinkedIn and all my socials. And then there'll be a ton of other podcasts and things that you can listen into.
I love it. Well, any last words of advice that you have for us before I let you go?
As always, I always tell anybody that's looking to be an entrepreneur, start their own thing, I always recommend just taking the action. There's a lot of people that will sit there and have an idea and read a book or watch a YouTube video and never take the action because they're afraid to fail. And I always say failure is your trampoline to success. So just take the action, and a year or 2 years down the road, you'll look back and say, that's how you do it. And instead of staying there for a year or 2 years and never making a move.
I love that. Well, Rich, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Something that is very familiar and yet is totally innovated and done in a completely new way that makes so many situations so much better without necessarily being a brand new concept, and yet in some ways a totally brand new concept. a lot of times in our business, we can have the ability to be able to just innovate just a little bit and make such an enormous difference, both in the reach that we have as well as in the impact that we have on the lives of the people that we want to serve. Most of us are doing what we're doing on purpose for a reason to be able to help others. And when we innovate, it gives us the ability to be able to really do that. And it makes our business kind of cool too. And that's a great thing as well. And all of it comes together to help you live as a thriving entrepreneur. Let's take another commercial break and then we'll be right back here on Thriving Entrepreneur. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third-generation minister, an international best-selling author of multiple books, and I help people write, publish, and market their books to bestseller. In fact, there are literally thousands of people that have used the system that I created to be able to write, publish, and market their books, and now they're best-selling authors. And you're next. I just wanted to come on for a minute, say hi to you, tell you a little bit about me, introduce myself, and tell you I know the world is waiting on your message, and I would be so honored to be part of sharing your message with the world. Go to AskSteveKid.com and schedule a time to talk today. This is Steve. Welcome back. Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today as we talk about the power of innovation. In the first segment, we were talking about two guys that innovated their own lives and have made such a difference for their family and now for all the students that they teach. And then we talked with Rich, who was talking in the last segment about the automated tap room and what an innovation like that has done for both establishments as well as pop-ups and things like that, and some of the cool kind of things that can be done when we simply look at something and then put a new twist on it, innovate it, and make it even better. And there are some other things that we can do technology-wise that are very cool innovations that allow us to use the power of innovation in our business to make our businesses more effective, more competitive in this world. And I know, of course, you want to learn about all those. So rather than me talking anymore, I will bring on our next guest here on Thriving Entrepreneur. Join me in welcoming Moustafa. Hey, Moustafa, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing really great, thanks. First off, tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Yeah, awesome. So my name is Moustafa Morsi. I am, with Push Analytics, president here at Push Analytics, and we help businesses. We're a full service digital agency, and we really get to the bottom of like what makes your business go. We help engineer businesses for success, is the way I like to summarize it, through our many services.
So what kind of analytics do you typically help people with the most?
Yeah, so it's interesting. The reason we called the company Push Analytics, I mean, we actually started off as growth ads, and we still do that, but that was our initial only offering, right? Growth ads, Google, Facebook, and all that. And because we knew that uh, we never wanted to do anything like that without having the full information at hand. And we knew the only way to do it was with analytics. So we called the company Push Analytics because our initial thing was, my partner who's been in ad space since they started being a thing in 2014, he took a brand from nothing to seven figures looking at franchising opportunities all through Facebook ads at the time, which was a very early part of Facebook ads lifespan. And he knew the importance of like, hey, data. We just need to get a lot of data to be able to do this, but we need a systemic way to be able to get that data. So that's kind of where Push Analytics was born.
I love that. So for people who don't understand it, give us a general idea of how important and why we need to know and follow our analytics is.
Yeah, absolutely. So anything you're going to do in a business, right, or really anywhere, but like anything you're going to do in a business, it involves having to make decisions and having to see the outcome of those decisions. Okay. And it's kind of a feedback loop. So you need a way to make this, like if we were showing this, I'd show like a diagram with two pieces that feed into each other, like a yin and yang almost. You need data to be able to make those decisions, right? Like how do you even make a decision the first time? Right. Well, you need some sort of information, like our sales are up, our sales are down, our sales are sideways, some sort of decision. And then you need to see, like, okay, I'm going to hire more reps, for example. Well, is this working? Is it not? You need more data to see if it's working or not. And then you make another decision. Oh, it is working. Let's hire even more reps. Or it's not working. Let's do something else, right? So that's kind of the basic of it. At any business, to make moves, you have to make decisions. And to make decisions, you need some sort of information to draw those decisions are. And you need to be able to understand what happens when you make those decisions so that then you can make further decisions. And the cycle goes on.
I love that. So, what are the kind of things that people really should be tracking that they typically aren't?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, a lot of different things, and depends on the businesses, obviously, right? When you're doing ads, you obviously want to track your core metrics on ads. But at large, right, across your business overall, whether you're doing ads or not, you always want to have the key metrics kind of defined, right? The key sales metrics, the key conversion metrics, like every step that you get from one end of the customer journey to the next, kind of defined and tracked. We run into there's actually a lot of overlap between this and actually getting your business organized overall. So one of the things we do now is process consulting, right? We do a lot of process consulting and help people revamp their processes. And the way we got into that is because but we started doing HubSpot build outs, like CRM build outs, and we're a HubSpot partner, top tier HubSpot partner. And in order to really do that, like your CRM, build out a CRM properly for your business, you need to be able to actually really look at the process. And because the CRM is a way to execute your process, but the CRM is not going to run your business for you. So you need to be able to, look at the process and kind of clean that out. And along that way, along that path is like, okay, what are the key steps and what are we tracking? And this comes up a lot, especially on B2B businesses, right? Where the path isn't as clear, right? It's going to vary business to business. The key metrics are going to vary a little bit business to business. If there are certain types of businesses that, the metrics are generally going to be very similar. For example, like if you're an e-commerce business, which we work a lot with, like a direct to consumer business or something, the high level metrics are going to be similar, right? Like, your conversion rate, your click-through rate on the ads, the traffic you're getting on the website, maybe your abandoned cart rate. Like there's going to be like some rates that are similar. The more sophisticated the sales process is, the more that you need to be able to define that, what that looks like for your business.
I love that. So, for folks that are coming to you, what is the typical thing that you found people have done that you really, really wish they hadn't? Because, you have to explain to them that really isn't a good system or process to do.
I think the bigger problem is that people maybe don't pay attention to their processes as much, and I do think that that is a big missed opportunity. A lot of times we do like webinars and talks on this, and one of the things I usually lead with is a question, like, how do you feel like your processes are today? And there's a bunch of choices, and the last choice is like, well, we don't have a process. And some people will pick that usually. And it's a little bit of a trick question though, because like the thing is after that we say, well, there's no such thing as not having a process, right? A process is like a series of steps that you take to go from point A to point B. So if you have a business, you have customers, you have a process. Now, your process might not be, you might not be optimizing it, right? So maybe you have a sophisticated process, maybe you have spreadsheets, or maybe you even write stuff on a napkin and hand it around. I mean, and that's your process. And some people do, in fact, do that. That's fine. You still have a process, right? So, really pointing people's attention to like whether you like it or not, you have a process is, I think, a really key thing, and it's very important. And it's very similar to if somebody goes. A lot of times you have like two people talking, and one of them's like, "Hey, I'm on this diet or whatever," and it's like, whatever, right? It's hard, it's whatever. And then the other person's like, "Ah, I'm not on any diet." And then usually if the first person's like informed, they'll be like, "Well, you are, right? It's just that your diet is that, you just eat whatever, but you still have a diet and it still affects you, right? So it's the same thing for businesses, right? The process is essentially the diet for the business. And whether you like it or not, you have it, it's just a choice if you're going to pay attention to it or
That's amazing. So, what is the kind of businesses that you really prefer working with?
not. We've worked across the board. I personally have we worked across the board. I mean, e-commerce businesses on the ad side, right? We have different sides of the business. So on the ad side, we do a lot of e-commerce businesses, service businesses, and others. We've worked with software companies, real estate companies. I mean, a lot of different things on the ad side. On the process consulting side, I mean, yeah, you name it. Like we've done medical, we've done construction, we've done e-commerce, we've done kind of like pharmaceutical, retail. I personally have extensive experience working in construction, so I really like doing construction stuff, just personally. And I think that's a pretty big place where people really need processes, but because nobody really knows how to speak their languages, it's hard to like find somebody. I worked in construction for like 10 years. But yeah, I mean, we work across the gamut, and it's because the way we work is really industry agnostic, right? Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to zoom out, and we have, no pun intended, but a process for determining the process, right? That should be for your business. That's industry agnostic. It's like, hey, let's get the stakeholders in a room. Let's understand where we are, where we need to go. Let's kind of map things out. Let's massage it with the stakeholders, and let's make sure that we get to a point where this works for everybody. So we're doing a lot of that. So I think that really, yeah, that really helps us. We've had success across a wide variety of industries because of our process being industry neutral.
I love that so much. So, what does a person need to do to start the process of working with you?
Yeah, I mean, like you can reach out. You can reach out if you're interested. Reach out and we can have a conversation about your business, see where we can help you. We always, when we're working with somebody, we'll always like kind of scope out like this is what we think your business needs, and that's in conversation with the stakeholders, right? So usually when people work with us, there's never any surprises because they already know what we agreed to do. We already are on the same page with it, and then it's just a matter of getting it done. So first conversation is just, hey, reach out, let's talk. You can reach us at hello@pushanalytics.com. And if you put in the title that you came from here, then the team will know to refer it to me and I could take the call.
And so, with that said, what is one thing that a person could do themselves right now? They've listened to us, they've gotten a little bit of information. What's one thing that they could or even maybe should do right now to have better analytics for what they're doing?
Yeah, so it depends largely on the type of business. However, I will say, at least across all businesses, make sure you have your like tracking tools set up properly. One very practical thing that you can make sure you have set up properly is Google Analytics. We actually gave a webinar on this. It was with HubSpot. We gave a webinar with HubSpot talking about, um, you know, uh, like Google Analytics, a lot of the changes recently, and like, just things you want to do to make sure it's set up properly. We could share that link if people are interested. But anyhow, Google Analytics is a tracking code that goes on your website. And I mean, every business pretty much has it, right? So that's why I mentioned that one, because whether you're a B2B or B2C or e-commerce or, service or whatever, you're going to have Google Analytics at least tracking your website traffic. Make sure that that's set up properly. And do that, if it's not, fix it yesterday because it doesn't work retroactively, obviously, right? It needs to be working properly when the person comes to your website. So you're losing a lot of valuable information that way on what's happening on your website, which is a big part of a lot of people. So at the base level, right, that's like one actionable thing people can do. If you are really any business, I guess another actionable thing you can do is any sort of form, and this isn't strictly just analytics, but any sort of form or method of contact that you have on your website, whether it's a contact us form, a contact us number, a contact us email, like whatever, right? Has to be monitored and going somewhere, and there needs to be some sort of process on dealing with the outcome of that. And you should actually track also, and that's more for B2B, but you should track like how many people come in there. But we do see a lot where it's like, there might be a form buried somewhere, and it's like, guys, where's that form go? Should we set it up when we set up the website? And like, I don't know. Like it goes to some inbox. Who checks the inbox? Nobody. Okay, what if like 7 customers just came in from there and like they want to be serviced and there's nobody there, right? It's kind of like a customer walking into a retail store and they're ready to buy, but like nobody's at the register and nobody's anywhere. And it's just like cricket, cricket. And then they're going to be like, I don't know, is the store abandoned? And then they're going to just leave, right? I mean, that's what's going to happen. They're going to just leave. So, same thing. So, those are kind of like the 2 things that I would say. If you don't do anything else, just do those 2 things.
And tell us one more time how a person can get in contact with you.
Hello, HELLO at pushanalytics.com. And you can again mention the title that you heard us on the show, and you'd like to speak to me personally, and the team will run accordingly.
I love it. Well, Moustafa, thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the show today.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve.
I hope we didn't go too techno geek on you. I always try to keep those approachable and without, geeking out with somebody who loves technology as much as I do. But I'm sure you can see from that both how powerful push analytics could be for your own business, but also some other ways that you could probably bring some technologies into your business and make it even more impactful and more effective for the people that you serve, so that you can make the difference that you really want to make in this world. And in the end, isn't that really what innovation is? Isn't that the greatest power of innovation? And that is the ability to reach more people, to help more people, to do more for people, to be able to have the same 24 hours in a day that everybody else does. Did you know that you have the same exact amount of time today as anybody you want to name? Name the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Name whomever you admire the most. Maybe it's an Oprah or a Tony Robbins or other people like that. Anybody that you want to come up with. You could even talk about Nate or Dan or Rich or Moustafa that were on the show today and how much you admire them. You have that same 24 hours that they have in every single one of your days. And you can use the power of innovation to maximize those hours. That's a good start. But then also to be able to really, truly change the world. And that's important for us to see. Because really, at the end, you were put here to be the you that the world needs right now, in this moment, in this time, for who you are, to use the power of innovation and the power of you to really make this planet a better place to live and to be, and help all of those that you're meant to help and serve. What a cool thing. And you know what? It's all because of the fact that you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose, and the world needs you. That's right. We need you. We want you around too, absolutely. But the world actually needs you to be the best you that you can be. Innovate. Use the power of innovation. Thrive in all that you do. And make the world a better place. Now, before you get overwhelmed, let me go back to my thing that I always throw in here on you. And that's be the best you that you can be today. Yesterday's gone. As Ernie always said, yesterday's a canceled check. Tomorrow's a promissory note. Today is the day that's the legal tender you can spend. Find out and then be the best you that you can be today. Reach out to that one person whose life you can impact and do what you can do to just simply reach into the life of that one person and be the you that they need, that the world needs today, and live as a thriving entrepreneur. Till we're together again next time, I hope that you have a great week.
Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today. If you want to get your question answered, send an email to questions@wehelpyouthrive.com. We look forward to you joining us again next time.
Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third-generation minister, an international best-selling author of multiple books, and I help people write, publish and market their books to bestseller. In fact, there are literally thousands of people that have used the system that I created to be able to write, publish, and market their books, and now they're best-selling authors. And you're next. I just wanted to come on for a minute, say hi to you, tell you a little bit about me, introduce myself, and tell you I know the world is waiting on your message, and I would be so honored to be part of sharing your message with the world. Go to AskSteveKid.com and schedule a time to talk today.